The Wounded Heroes Fund is a non-for-profit all centered around veterans and military members from the War on Terror, so Afghanistan and Iraq. The idea being to help these veterans transition back into civilian life, into the world that they're returning to. A lot of the guys are coming back with injuries, physical ones, obvious ones, or most with some kind of mental difficulty, PTSD, or just some trauma that they're dealing with. So we feel like it's our goal, our mission to help these guys get back into the world and show them that the community really cares about them.
I lost a soldier. It was kind of hard as a leader to accept that. It kind of put me in a bad place, and in January of 2013 I actually tried to commit suicide.
I was isolating myself a lot and kind of went from pills to alcohol, to self-medicating with alcohol, and again isolating myself quite a bit.
Trying to get from warrior mode to civilian life is hard. I mean, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go to the mall. There's too many people. I can't watch everybody. I don't know what everyone's doing, and that was probably the hardest part.
I was a wreck coming out of the Marine Corps just because of everything that happened, and I was able to move past some of it, but because my brothers were next to me. When I came home, I was all alone again.
For the longest time I was Private Garcia, Corporal Garcia, Sergeant Garcia. I had a job I was required to do, just being regular old Chad Garcia, that I got to redefine myself, it feels like. Figure out who I am, what my goals are, what I want to do. That's a hard thing to determine for yourself when you're also trying to deal with a lot of other issues.
I went in as an 18-year-old kid, and when I came out, I didn't know anything else. And I had civilian friends that I couldn't relate to.
There was a lot of frustration, a lot of fights, a lot of not knowing of what was to come next.
We had entirely lost hope. We'd lost faith that there was going to be any kind of support for us or for our son, especially locally, because we're not a large city. And I think it's fair to say that Wounded Heroes Fund gave us back that faith.
Wounded Heroes Fund has recently shifted gears to a more all-encompassing method. So we do financial grants, things a lot of times when veterans are returning, they have kind of a lag period between maybe some benefits that they're awaiting to kick in.
When I was clearing base, they told me, okay, well, here's what you're going to get for travel, to move home, to move you and your family back to California, but the remaining X amount of dollars you're going to get will be held until you're audited. The audit's complete. So when I came home, I had enough money to get started and moved into a place and get pretty comfortable, but after 30 days, turned into 45, turned almost close to 50, I didn't have anything coming to me. So Wounded Heroes Fund came to my aid and gave me a grant, helped me take care of those first few months' rent.
They helped me pay for a month's rent while I was at Walter Reed. It was something they just offered up. And then when I came home and Homes for Troops was building a home for me here in Bakersfield, they actually stepped in and did the majority of the work.
My laptops were stolen and I was at school, and at the time money was very scarce with us. So Wounded Heroes Fund helped us out and gave me a small donation that was big.
We're really following up with these veterans that we're helping. Yeah, maybe we still help them out with a financial grant initially, but then they get into our network again like I did. They get in connected with other veterans, with people that want to help veterans. We do a lot of monthly hikes for veterans, but also workshops on budgeting, how to budget your family now.
I attended a marriage workshop with my wife, and it was just an experience to meet other couples that are going through the same kind of stuff that me and my wife are going through. We learned our love language and how to communicate better with each other.
The thing that's beautiful about Wounded Heroes Fund is that it gives you that window to meet all kinds of people. My wife meets friends through there, and so our whole world's opened up.
The Outward Bound trip was, for me, was a life-changing experience. I gained a lot of knowledge about myself and the things that I could still do, and let me know that I was still that man.
I think without the Wounded Heroes Fund in my life, there would be a lot less purpose for me. And I think for a lot of us, that's really one of the key factors in recovering and kind of getting some stability in your life.
There's the podcast we're doing right now, and I'm a huge part of that. And that, for me, is awesome, just to be able to work with some of the greatest guys. So Wounded Heroes Fund, on a day-to-day basis, helps me out just by giving me the avenues to try and seek some kind of better lifestyle for myself.
This organization does so many things and allows me to help other people, which it makes me happy. This is what keeps me going.
Just in the, 6 months or so that I've been involved in it, I've met a couple of dozen guys that I can tell it absolutely makes an impact in their life. And some of them, I think it's the most positive thing in their life. It's all they talk about.
The Wounded Heroes Fund is funded by private donations, outside donations. So whether they're maybe from companies locally or from private individual donors, that's where our funding comes from.
The nice thing about the Wounded Heroes Fund is that it supports our local veterans, that all the money that we raise in the community stays in the community. Other organizations that you might donate money for, you don't know where that money is going.
I think it's very, very important that the Wounded Heroes Fund is a local organization helping local people, and that's why it's so important for this community to embrace the Wounded Heroes Fund and trying to help any way they possibly can as a volunteer, a donor, financially, however they can become involved, because we're helping our own.
Anyone who's interested in volunteering can visit our website at thewoundedheroesfund.org to register as a volunteer and to find out what events are coming up. Anyone who's interested in donating can reach us. Really, I mean, we're a nonprofit. We'll take it any way we can, but the website offers a PayPal registration also for monthly or sporadic donations.
What I would say to anybody who supports the Wounded Heroes Fund is something that I find hard to say without breaking into tears, and that's thank you.